Have you ever thought about the power of a single blink? It's something we do thousands of times a day, an unconscious reflex that moistens our eyes and protects them from the light. It lasts, on average, just a fraction of a second, a tiny, insignificant moment. Or is it? What if I told you that within that fleeting darkness, entire worlds can pivot? That in the millisecond it takes for your eyelids to meet and part, destinies can be rewritten, decisions can be sealed, and lives can be irrevocably changed. Today, we're exploring the anatomy of a blink, that split second that changes everything. Think about it. The blink before you say, "I do." In that moment of darkness, you're standing on a threshold. Behind you is the life you've always known, the person you were. In front of you is a shared future, a promise, a completely new identity. The world you see when your eyes reopen is fundamentally different from the one you saw just a moment before. You're no longer just you, you're now part of a we. Or consider the blink of an artist staring at a blank canvas. They see nothing, a void of white. They blink. And when their eyes open, they see it, the first stroke, the burst of color, the shape of a face. In that instant, an idea that was just a nebulous thought in their mind has been projected onto reality. The creative spark has been ignited. A masterpiece is born from that single, decisive moment of clarity. It's not just the monumental moments either. It's the small, subtle shifts that ripple outwards. Imagine you're at a crossroads, literally and figuratively. You're driving and you hesitate at an intersection, to go left or to go right. You blink. That fraction of a second is all it takes for another car to pass, for the light to change, for a pedestrian to step onto the street. The path you eventually take was determined by that momentary pause. A path that could lead you to meet the love of your life or narrowly avoid an accident. The entire trajectory of your day, your week, your life, altered in the time it takes to blink. This isn't just philosophy. There's a science to it. Neurologically, when we blink, our brain momentarily disengages from processing visual information. It's like a mini reboot. Scientists call this phenomenon attentional blink. For a brief window, our brain gets a chance to switch focus, to reset its priorities. This is why sometimes, when you're stumped by a problem, looking away and blinking can suddenly bring the answer into sharp focus. The mental noise is silenced, and the signal becomes clear. Think of a surgeon in a high-stakes operation, a moment of intense pressure. They pause, take a breath, and blink. When their eyes open, their focus is renewed. Their hands are steady. The path forward, which seemed cluttered with 100 variables, is now clear. One precise action. In that blink, they didn't just refresh their eyes, they refreshed their entire cognitive state, allowing them to make the life-saving decision. This happens in sports all the time. A basketball player at the free throw line, the game hanging in the balance. The crowd is a blur of noise and color. They dribble, they focus on the rim, and they blink. In that instant of darkness, the chaos fades away. It's just them, the ball and the basket. When their eyes open, everything is in perfect alignment. The shot is pure. The game is won. That blink wasn't a sign of nervousness. It was an act of control, a deliberate mental reset to achieve peak performance. But the anatomy of a blink is also about what we miss. While our eyes are closed, the world doesn't stop. A shooting star streaks across the sky. A child takes their first step. A rare bird lands on a branch just outside your window. Life is a continuous stream of moments, and by its very nature, a blink means we are selectively editing our reality. We are choosing unconsciously which frames of the movie to discard. And that raises a beautiful, poignant question. What wonders have we missed in a lifetime of blinking? What fleeting smiles, what subtle glances, what tiny miracles have occurred in those brief intervals of darkness? We can never know. And perhaps that's the point. It teaches us to appreciate the moments we do see, to be more present and aware when our eyes are open. The blink can also be a shield. When we hear devastating news, our first instinct is often to close our eyes. It's a physical manifestation of our mind's refusal to accept a new, painful reality. We blink, hoping that when we open our eyes, the world will be as it was before. But it isn't. The world is changed forever. That blink marks the precise border between before and after. The moment innocence was lost, the moment the heart was broken. Conversely, think of the blink that comes after tears. After a long, hard cry, you finally take a deep, shuddering breath. You blink away the last of the moisture. In that moment, it's not just about clearing your vision. It's a moment of catharsis, of release. The storm has passed. When you open your eyes, the world might seem a little brighter, the colors a little more saturated. You've weathered the pain, and that blink is the first moment of a new, calmer emotional landscape. It's the blink of realization. You're reading a book, and a single sentence clicks everything into place. You blink, and the entire story is recontextualized. It's the blink of a founder right before they launch their company, a moment of pure, terrifying, exhilarating potential. They hit the enter key and blink. The world they see upon opening their eyes is one where their dream is now a reality, for better or for worse. So the next time you find yourself blinking, take a moment. Don't just see it as a mindless biological function. See it for what it is, a comma in the sentence of your life. A pause, a reset, a moment of transition. It is the microscopic space between one reality and the next. It's the millisecond that can hold the weight of a decision, the spark of an idea, the beginning of a new chapter, or the end of an old one. Our lives are a collection of these moments, these tiny deaths and rebirths, happening 15 to 20 times every minute. We are constantly closing the door on one instant and opening it to another. The anatomy of a blink is the anatomy of change itself. It's a reminder that life isn't a static picture, but a dynamic, ever-shifting film. And every single frame, even the dark ones, matters. Thank you so much for joining me on this thought experiment today. If this idea resonated with you, let me know in the comments about a blink moment that changed your life. And of course, if you enjoy exploring these kinds of ideas, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It really helps, and it means we can continue to wonder about the big questions hidden in life's smallest details. Until next time, keep your eyes and your mind wide open.